If we say finance, we say money, and if we say money, we say life. So I guess it will be a very, very, very important discussion. Because we are going to have very interesting panelists. From Yaya to Saini JT, to our able Auditor General, Mr. Saini Bochang, and all. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the team too, from cash to code, how digital finance and tax digitalization can transform the Gambian economy, which is a very important theme or a very important topic. And regarding the Gambia, when it comes to the Gambia, there are certain awareness we need for the Gambian people. Let them know about how cash, and how digital finance. Because when it comes to digital finance, people are not aware about it. Some people don't even trust it. I have one in my house, one old woman there. Still now, I cannot convince her, to be part of this digital world. But anyway, I will stop here for now. And I guess we are going to have a very, very interesting session. Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Thank you.
I thank you for that. For one, sorry for the background disturbance. But, Sini, thank you, Mr. Vice President. But sorry, can you please give me 1 minute? I want to talk with this guy. Sorry for that delay, man. Sorry. Thank you, Mr. Vice President, for that remarkable speech given. It's an honor having you in this forum. So before going further, it's a great pleasure having you all in this panel discussion. I would like to introduce myself. I am Suleiman Bari, a final year student of economics at the Maharaja Sayajuri University of Baroda, which reside inside Gujarat state. It's a great honor given to me by the Finance Ministry of the ninth executive of the Gam-Ind Student Association in India to be the moderator of this panel discussion with my fellow co-moderator. I will allow her to introduce herself. Madam, please, can you have the floor?
Okay, Sleman Buddy, thank you so much. Okay, my name is Tida Kamara, final year student of BBA/Logistic and Supply Chain Management, and I'm attending Koneru Lakshmaya University, which reside at Andhra Pradesh, Guntur district. And today we are having a fruitful discussion on from cars to code, which we all know that in the Gambia, we are dealing with cars. So digitalization in the Gambia is not that much strong, or we are back in it. When it's come to other development, digitalization is very important and innovation. So today's discussion will be centered on innovation, which has to go with digitalization. And before going further on it, I would like to give back the button to my co-host, who is Lehman Barry, so that I will not take much of the time.
I thank you, co-moderator. Thank you for that introduction. It's a pleasure having you also at this forum. I would like to highlight our today's panel discussion, which aims to explore how the transition from cash-based economy to digital-based economy, which enable finance and tax system to enhance economic growth, improve government revenue collection, and promote financial inclusion and strengthen transparency and efficiency in the Gambian economy. As we all know, Gambia is an economy which is largely based or driven by cash, in which significant part of its transaction occurs outside its formal financial system, and know that cash plays an important role in the Gambian economy, with the excessive reliance on its limits also financial inclusion. It reduces tax compliance and constraint in the economic planning. Now, we dive into the introduction of each panelist and note that each panelist is a representative of a government institution here. So meaning like we have the central bank, we also have the GRA, we also have the market representative, we also have the ITC experts, we also have the society representative. So before going further, also I will also invite my panelists here, which I will start by the first panelist, which is the central bank, because it starts from top to down. So from central bank, Mr. Central Bank, can you please, you are highly invited here. Introduce yourself, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Barry. My name is Alhaji Sambasi. I'm become student second year studying at the APJ Software University in Gurugram, Haryana.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Z. It's a great pleasure having you in this forum, panel discussion. So we go to panel number two, panelist number two, which is the GRA. Can you please introduce yourself?
Sorry, Mr. Suleiman Bari, before, sorry for the interruption, but I think before introducing the panelists, the
Okay.
finance minister have to
Wow,
give
wow.
his own speech.
Wow, sure. My bad for that. I'm so sorry for that. Then let them introduce themselves. After introducing, then the finance minister will go ahead with it. Seniola. Mr. GRA?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Suleiman. My name is Seni Bojang. I'm a master's student at the Maharaja Sayajura University of Baroda, specializing in accounting and financial management. And it's a great pleasure that I'm one of the panelists here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bojang. You are welcome to the panel discussion today. Next, we move to the market representative.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Yaya Jallo, a student at Gujarat University pursuing Bachelor's in Business Administration, and I am also one of the panelists. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mr. Jallo. You are welcome to the panel discussion. So we go to panelist number 4, which is the ITC expert. Can you also please introduce yourself to the audience?
Good evening. May I confirm my audibility, please? Am I audible to the audience?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. My name is Seni Jaita. I am studying at PCT Group of Institute. I am currently pursuing my Masters of Business Administration. It is a pleasure to be part of this panel.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Senijete. It's a great pleasure also having you here. So we move to panelist number 5, which is the last panelist, the society representative. Can you please introduce yourself?
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to tell you, like, my position is ranked last, but without my position, the whole system can work. So, like, okay. By the way, good evening. My name is Samba Toure, a third-year BCom student at BCom Honors at Gujarat University. So it is a pleasure for having me here in this important discussion. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Toure. It's a great pleasure having you also here. I will hand over to my co-moderator, which is Ms. Sema. Can you please we can go. Sorry, Mr. What's again? Wise Cham. Can
Finance,
you please
wise
take the floor?
Cham.
Yeah, Mr. Wise Cham. I'm sorry for that.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum to you all. Mr. Suleiman Barry, am I audible?
Sure, you are audible, Mr.
Yes.
Chair.
Okay. Thank you. Um, good evening, everyone. I am Ibrahim Wise Jam. I finally have become, honor student studying at Sriram College of Commerce, Delhi University, Delhi. Today marks a very important milestone in the history of our association. It is the official opening of Gam-Ind's Ever Finance Week. The Finance Week is a platform that is designed to bring together business-minded individuals to exchange ideas, engage in in-depth discussion on economic issues, and create opportunities for networking and investment partnerships. This year's Finance Week will take place over 3 days. Over 3 days. That is the 24th, 26th, and then the 28th. 24th, which is today, is the panel discussion. 26th will be the business plan competition, and then 28th, that is the lecture day featuring the finest, economists from the Gambia. I therefore encourage all Gambia members and other interested partners to actively part to, to actively take part in the 3-day program, as this is the first time we are organizing such an event. Your participation and support are crucial to its success. The Finance Ministry is proud to lead this initiative. And then we are saying thank you to everyone who has contributed in one way or another to making this event possible. We extend our deepest appreciation to the Ninth Executive Council for their continued support and then guidance. On that note, I thank you all, and I therefore say thank you all to all the people that are here, all the participants, all the panelists, and our moderators. So thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. YS Jam. Yeah, it's also a great pleasure. Great. It's a wonderful remark, though. It's a great pleasure having you in this panel discussion. Thank you for the for the contribution you make for the Gambian student in India here. We really appreciate your effort. So now we start with the questioning, like the real thing, the real thing that brought us here today, which is the panel discussion, which talks about how can we how can cash be transformed to a digital system, like from cash to code, which talks about how digital finance and tax digitalization can transform Gambian's economy. So our discussion today is based on segments, which is we have 4 segments. So each segments are numbered from number 1 to number 4. So segment number 1 talks about the challenges faced with the use of cash. Section number 2 talks about digital finance as a game changer to the Gambian's economy. So section number 3 talks about digital tax digitalization and revenue growth. With the last section, which talks about inclusion and literacy and the risks involved in digitalization of finance and also tax. So now I would like to give the floor to my fellow colleagues, which is Sima. Sima, now you can take the floor.
Okay, thank you, Sleman, for that introduction of the segments that we'll be dealing with today. So let us dive into the program. My first question will be centered on the economic challenges surrounded with the use of cash. And the first panelist that will be answering that question will be Mr. Sini Boja. And here goes to your question. Mr. Sini, are you with me? Okay. Mr. Sini, why does cash still dominate transaction in the Gambia? And what challenges does this pose to economic growth and tax collection? I will repeat. Why does cash still dominate transaction in the Gambia? And what challenges does this pose to economic growth and tax collection? Mr. Sini, you can go ahead.
Oh, sorry, my mic was muted. Thank you so much, Mr. Sima, for that wonderful question. Actually, I thought my mic was on the whole it was muted. Yes, the question goes, why those cars still dominate transaction in the Gambia, and as well, what are the problems does this create for growth and tax collection? We come from a Gambia, and we know technologically we are still not there as expected, and still now we face these big challenges of encouraging people to dominate the online payment of transaction and all the likes. So one of the main characters or main effect that still, you know, affect us as a Gambians is cars is part of our daily life. In the Gambia, people when they go to Serekunda, Brikama market, they like to carry physical cars. It's simpler to them and also they are so familiar to them. Another problem is cars can work without any internet. When you go out, you don't need a connection to go. And Gambia, we all know connection is a problem. Let's say even in India here, at times you want to make Paytm payments. If you don't have a backup cash, it's a wahala. You enter bus station, you are on the bus going, and you need to pay your fare. You don't have internet connection. At times they ask you for cars. So if you don't have cars, that also is another problem. Another problem, the main thing, that is still we still lacking as Gambians is trust and confidence. People have in cars than online. Even in India here, people will be like, if I have money in my Paytm, I eat everything. I need to withdraw at least. I have my budget of 2,000 in a month. Otherwise, if I go with my online payment, I'll eat everything. I will keep on ordering. So people don't trust themselves having money in their wallet or electronically. They believe having physical cash on them. And one another important thing also that is still affecting us as Gambians is people use cars in their daily needs. Most of the Gambians, women in the market, and those going around, let's say the drivers and everything, they don't need online payment. They need physical cash to go home and give their families. So this is another one of the things that we are still is still affecting us as Gambians. So when you come to the problem that it creates for growth and tax collection, there is no proper record of business. People dealing directly with cars, will not be having a proper record of business. When transactions are done online, everything is recorded. Let's say, for instance, with regards to the loan that the finance minister is giving to people here, if he gives us loans, it is recorded through a Paytm transaction. So when, let's say, the audit, it is time for auditing, I will easily detect that these are things that have been done directly. But if he has been giving people physically, there will be no paper record. So this is one of the problem, and there is limited access that it can create to microfinances when they want to apply for loans. Banks, for them to give you loan, they have to know whether you are credible to pay back those loans. So they will ask you to tender your transactions or your bank statements so that they can see your transaction record. So if those things are not recorded properly, they will not have trust in you. Another thing is the difficulty in tax collection. Let's say GRA, I give you cash, or I go to you, I pay cash to you. Let's say I should pay a tax of $25,000, and me as a tax collector, I can negotiate with you. I can jot down things for you, and maybe you pay 20,000 and I take 5,000 because it is not done online. In accounting, we always say that cash is risky. So when we are dealing with cash physically, both the GRA staff or you that is paying the tax, there can be a high risk of mismanagement or a high risk of not paying the exact tax that you should pay. Another also a problem that is it reduces tax compliance. When there is proper record in your tax in your statements, it will be easier for the GRA staff or whatsoever to have the exact number of revenues that you have collected. But when you are dealing with the cash, at times you may not have the exact collection. Let's say in shops, you are selling goods or whatsoever. Somebody may come to you and they sell to you, you record them. But there may be another person who come to buy something from you, you are not going to record them. So at the end of the day, if you compile your revenues, there may be transactions which you are going to leave behind. So if you file your return, it means at the end of the day, you are not filing the exact revenue that you are expected to pay to GRA. So these are some of the problems that it is creating. So in essence, reducing cash transaction can help businesses grow, and it can help government collect tax fairly without not being any mismanagement. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Sini Bojang, for that wonderful insight. And what it stands is that caste dominancy is not just a habit, but a result of trust. Because some people, they have trust issues, people like me. Let me not say some people, let me just include myself on it. I have trust issues when it comes to this online payment. So this online payment sometimes can be critical when the system is not flexible for users. It can drive you crazy. Sometimes you will feel like, oh, maybe these people are not truthful to us. This system wants to this system wants to take our money just like that because of the complexity of it. And he also mentioned of this tax collection when it comes to using physical cash to pay your tax. I think that will stop in the Gambia because some of the tax collectors, they will collect tax from individuals and the money will end up in their own pocket. GRA will not see that money. They will make their own receipt that they will use in the market rather than using the receipt from GRA office. I think GRA should make a well research on this thing and make every tax collection to be digitalized. Even tax that will be collected from household should be in a digital form, not manually, like using receipts, people giving you money. When it comes to also in immigration, let me talk about immigration too. I know I should not talk about immigration, but I want to say something about immigration too. When it comes to this ID card issue, this ID card issuing of ID cards, digitalization, I know ID card we use digital form, but in some countries, the first ID card that will be issued, you should go to the immigration office. But after that, when you are renewing your ID card, there is no need for you to go and have that long queue at the immigration office. You have to sit in your house and fill a form and fill the immigration form online. Then your ID card will meet you at your doorstep rather than going going for a queue that will take you more than 2 hours, 3 hours. You have other chores to do or other transactions that are waiting for you. So I think this digital system is very important. Gambia, we have to upgrade ourselves when it comes to digitalization in financial transaction or tax collection. That's what I have. Okay, then my next question will go to market representative, that is Mr. Yaya Jallo. Here goes to your question. Yaya, are you with me?
Yes,
Mr.
I'm with.
Yaya?
Yes, I am with you, ma'am.
Okay, your question is, how does tax-based system affect small businesses and the market? I repeat, how does cash-based systems affect small businesses and the market?
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that wonderful question. And it's indeed an interesting question as far as I am here on behalf of the market representative. Yeah, because you tend to realize that the cash-based system is affecting the businesses, especially the small businesses and that of the market. And like you will tend to understand that it have different ways in how it is affecting the small businesses and that of the market. Yes, one of those ways how it is affecting can be limited business growth. Yes, we tend to understand that the cash-based system have contributed a lot in the reduction of market or businesses growth. Example, let's take an example, that of the Birkama, Serekunda, or Alban market. Many traders in the Gambia rely purely on money rather than record. And because they rely purely on money rather than record, it affects them in different ways. One, it helps them not to track their profit, because if you are not keeping proper record, everything you leave it on your memory. At some point, you tend to realize or you tend to forget some of the things that you You did it previously, so it caused them not to able to track their profit. Another thing is, like, it also make the quality of the bank to give them loans, because if you are not, most of the banks now in the Gambia, not even in the Gambia, but as since we are focused on Gambia, we're going to take all examples from the Gambia. Banks in the Gambia, if you want to take loan as a businesswoman or a businessman, you need to show proof of your financial transaction, proof of what you are having, the proof of the daily transaction that you are doing. It is true that the banks would also able to decide to give you loan, because through that you will able to convince the bank at the end of the day you will able to pay the loan as expected. Another reason or another way the cash-based system affect small businesses and the market is high risk and insecurity. Let's take an example of the Gambia. Currently, we have been witnessing a lot of insecurity things happening in the Gambia. Now, me being a businessman or a businesswoman that is dealing with cash-based system, yes, I'm at the market. I will be selling my goods and services, and at the end of the day, the cash I have it in hand. I can be attacked on my way back home, and during that, they can take all the money that I work for the day. So you realize that in the Gambia, the cash-based system is not an ideal thing for small businesses and that of the market. It plays a vital role in affecting the market and that of the small businesses. Another thing is limited access to formal finance. Yes, you realize that the commercial bank and the microfinance institution require transaction histories. Like I said prior, those transaction history will only be possible if you are keeping your daily record. But remember, if you are not keeping your daily record, you cannot show that transaction history. Let's take an example of the Gam-Ind finance minister. Any transaction that he did, he have to keep a record of it. Because, for instance, when we are presenting our data to the general members, they need to know how the finance is being managed. In that, they will be able to know this is where our finance is going and this is where it is spent. So then you realize that cash-based traders cannot provide this, leading to loan rejection. If you cannot provide this transaction, there is high chance that your loan will be rejected. So therefore, the cash-based system contribute, or the cash-based system affect small businesses and that of the market. Another one is tax collection challenges. Yes, you also realize that many traders pay flat or estimated tax because income are not digitally recorded. Yes, the incomes are not digitally recorded. Like, okay, let's take an example of Birkama Area Council. We learned that Birkama Area Council, the last year, they collected millions of tax compared to the previous years. Though the tax-based system is not theirs, if the council is able to collect that, then when we eradicate the cash-based system, we will able to have a lot of, or we will able to gain a lot of tax from the people, because people will pay the tax and you will be given it. Sometimes we realize that people will pay their tax and even receipts they are not given to. Where is that money going to? Where is that cash going to? So therefore, it is very, very important to eradicate this caste-based system as a country in the Gambia. Another thing can be market inefficiency. Caste only transactions slow down businesses and restrict trade to physical location, reducing competitiveness in a digital economy. Yes, the cash transaction only. Okay, let's take an example. I go to the shop. I want to buy attire, and the attire is $50. You understand? For instance, the other is $10. I went with $100. The trader might tell me that, sorry, I don't have change. You understand? Okay, or we sometimes take an example of the Uber drivers here. We are in India. You book an Uber, you arrive at your location, you're supposed to pay the Uber 256 rupees. You have cash, you give the Uber driver 300. The Uber driver will tell you, I don't have change. So the only option that you will be left with is to pay via online. So therefore, it is very, very important to put all these factors into consideration. In summary, cash system keep Gambian traders active, but they also keep businesses informal, vulnerable, and small. When we say informal and vulnerable, because like I said prior, the money or the cash that you gain, you can be on your way home and you will be attacked. Everything will go, meaning you are vulnerable, because we have seen a lot of example. A lot of things have been posted. Even us being in India, we are always updated in the media. People are attacked and their cars are collected. Remember, if there was, if this caste-based system was eradicated, it will have not affected the businesses. Let's take an example. 2 days ago, an individual was attacked in a bureau. A lot of money was, taken away from that. Though a life was lost, it might not protect your life, or it can even protect your life, because the criminals will now say that even if I go, I won't get access to the money because the money is online. The money is already in the account. But now that they know that the money, we have the physical cash, they take that as an advantage. So therefore, this cash-based system affects small businesses and that of the market. And as the market representative, I rest my case for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yaya Jallo. That was a wonderful, remarkable speech given to you. But yeah, I will just give a summary of the first segment. That was the challenges that we face in handling cash in the economy, because we know that cash-based economy increase crime rate and corruption, because transactions are hard to track. And also we know that there is always inefficiency and costly due to what handling of the cash, and also keeping it, and also transporting from one place to another. And we also know that it's always slow down economic growth. Like when an individual, like we can say in this form, because expenditure brings an injection to the economy. But when you save, or when your money is, it's still remaining idle, not being in an economic transaction, it brings what? It slow down the economy. Instead of injecting it, but rather it becomes a leakage to the economy. So cash also leads to that. It leads to leakage to the economy, because an individual tends to hoard money than spending the money. So I will, yeah, those are the summary that is given to number one, the challenges we face in cash-based economy compared to a digital economy. So in a cash-based economy, it's just like a leakage to the economy, because an individual, for example, we here, most of us in India here, we have this PTM. So if you look at it, like for me, I always say it, like I always tell him like, boy, this thing is designed, this digital stuff is designed for those whom you know that like they are extravagant spenders. Like if you look at it well properly, like if you are someone who is financially disciplined and you know money properly, you will know how to manage your expenditures. But people that have this PTM, they hardly look at their balance compared to those with cash. Because if you have how to call it, sir, if you have cash with your hand, you can easily determine your balance compared to the ones with the PTM. Because anytime you make a spending, you don't look at your balance immediately after making that spending, because you think that you have sufficient amount of money in your account. So those are the challenges that we face in terms of cash economy. So compared to a digital economy. But this is a system that is designed by the metrics, the government. So they want you to spend more than hoarding the money, because if you don't spend, there are a lot of unemployment. So those, how to call it, the reserve armies that are sitting in the industry, not working, you will affect them. So they prefer you to spend more than hoarding the money. So that's why it's important to have digital finance and those stuffs all, because it contribute to the growth of the economy. Look at our GDP is around 2.5 billion. That's a small thing. That's nothing. So it seems like we are not spending. So, but with the introduction of the digital system, it's make us spend more, because individual, we spend when we don't look at our balance. So thank you for that one. So I will give a floor to my colleague, which is Sima. We can now move to the second segment, which talks about how to call it, a digital finance as a game changer, which I just give a hint of it. I, Madam Sima, can you please have the floor?
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Barry. But before going into that question, I would like to throw a little bit of Jimbo on this. From what I understand, what I understand, is that cash affects not only government revenue, but also the daily survival and expansion of small businesses in the Gambia. And I will not take much of my time on diving on this thing. So I will go on the second segment of today's discussion, which states digital finance as a game changer. And the first question will goes to Mr. Sini JJ. Are you with me?
Yes, I am with you, ma'am.
Okay, here goes to your question. What is digital finance? I want you to enlighten us about digital finance.
Okay, thanks for asking me that question. I will try to answer your question to the best of my ability. Okay, what is digital finance? Digital finance is refers to the use of digital technology to deliver financial services such as savings, borrowings, insurance services, even transfer through mobile phones, computers, and internet without relying on physical cash and bank branches. That is the definition of uh, digital finance. So, in simple terms, digital finance allow individuals, organizations, companies to use or to make payment, to receive payment, to borrow loans or money digitally or electronically, anywhere, anytime. That is digital finance. So we can, some of us, some of Gambian students studying in India here are not under any scholarship. They rely on their parents to pay their tuition fee, to pay their rents, and other things. So they are able to get money from back home to here through digital finance. They send it through online banking or through Western Union. All of those things are as digital finance. So in Gambian context, when you say digital finance, it includes the following. Digital wallets such as Yona wallet, you know. It also includes online banking. I can say almost all the commercial banks in the Gambia are into online banking. Okay. We also have fintech solutions. Yeah, those bureaus, that also, they give out loans to, online couples. We also have digital wallets. Yeah, I have already mentioned that. And then we also have mobile money. Mobile money. Yona is into it. APS, I think. Yeah, APS also into it. So all of those things are considered digital um, finance in the Gambia. So all of these things which I have mentioned now are all, they are all used to drive financial inclusion in the Gambia. They boost economic opportunities. They create employment opportunities to thousands of Gambians. Yeah, that is what I have.
Okay, so would you like to take over?
Yeah, we're still under the ITC expert, which is Mr. Jayton.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, I guess.
yeah, exactly. So it was question number, it was A, yeah, exactly. So the second question is how can mobile money, digital wallet, and fintech solution improve financial inclusion and support economic activity in the Gambia?
Yeah, there is no doubt that digital finance boosts economic activities and it also improves or encourage financial inclusion. So I would like to answer this particular question in three ways. First, I will explain how digital finance improves financial inclusion in the Gambia. I will also explain how digital finance is helping businesses in Ghana, and also how is it helping to boost our economic activity. So let's start with how digital finance encourage financial inclusion in the Gambia. If you look at Gambia, so many Gambians, especially those that are in rural areas, do not have access to traditional banking, um, they do not. If you go to Bolongono, Badebu, Jara, Yang, you ask those people, how many of you are having bank accounts? A very small number of people will tell you that I have a bank account. So, with the help of this digital finance, people in those communities can now access financial services such as to make payment, to receive payment, even insurance services. They can also borrow money through those digital financial services just by using a basic device. You don't need fancy, smartphone access financial digital financial service. Just simple smartphone, you will be able to access digital financial service anywhere, anytime. And digital financial services has helped to, bring our women, youths, and farmers, even some traders, these small traders, into formal financial system. If you look at Gambia, most of I can say 75 of Gambians are not paying in tax or are not part of the official financial system because of they are not paying tax to the government. Government is not keeping track of their financial transaction. So with the help of digital finance, those people are women that are into guardian, our small traders that normally go from one to to another, they will be able to be part of our formal financial system. So let's move on to how digital finance is helping to support businesses in the Ghana. We all know that with digital finance, you can easily make payment, you can easily receive payment, and that will save your time. And we all know that in business or in management, it is said that any time, any minute, any second, any hour which has been wasted during business operation is a cost to the organization. It is a cost to the company. So with this digital finances, it has helped businesses to easily make payment or receive payment without wasting much time compared with the traditional way of doing financial transactions or dealings. Okay, it also reduces risks associated with carrying physical cash. Some of my co-panelists they have mentioned not long ago, is it 2 or 3 days back, a young brilliant Gambian girl was murdered in a broad daylight simply because the guy who killed her, wanted to rob her because she's having the guy was thinking that the lady was having physical cash with her. So that shows that when you are having physical cash, know that even your life is at risk. Your life is because people will be ready to do anything just to get anyhow, ready to kill, to they can do anything. So carrying physical cash or not going digital, financial digital will help you to protect yourself from the risks which is associated with. Okay, it also helps to keep record of financial transactions. When you are having cash, we can take us as an example. Most of us are using either ATM or Google Pay. So in a month, if you want to know how much you have spent, if you go to your Google Pay, you go to transaction history, it will show you all the transactions that you have done in a month. So when you are using digital finance, any transaction you do, it will be recorded digitally. this tool will save you time of manually writing all the transactions that you have done in a month, and which in turn will help the businesses to flourish. So to move on to the final point, which is how digital finance is boosting economic activities in the Ghana. We all know that in economics, when there is high circulation of money, when the money is circulating in an economy at a higher speed, that will boost consumption. And when that boosts consumption, trade also will increase. When trade increases among the citizens, obviously economy will be, our GDP will grow. In fact, not just today I was, reading one news article regarding India's economic growth. This first quarter of their growth was driven by local consumption because India is now financial digital. Everyone is using either Google Pay or Paytm. So it will do that people will tend to spend more when they are using digital finance rather than having physical cash. Okay. It also supports tax compliance. Like I already mentioned that earlier, when you are using digital finance, the government will be able to track your financial needs. It will be able to know how much you are earning, how much you are spending in a month. So with that, they will be able to compel you to pay the actual tax that you are supposed to pay. If you look at the Gambian context, the majority of Gambians are not paying the required tax that they are supposed to pay. And that is why we are not developed. If you look at the Europe, most of these, European countries, some of our sisters and brothers that are there, when we are talking with them, when we ask them, they will tell us that sometimes the amount of money that I paid for taxes in this country is almost equal to my disposable income. So that shows that those people, they are developed simply because there are people are tax compliant. So with digital finance, Gambia will be able to, our government will be able will ensure that citizens pay the required tax that they are supposed to pay. Fintech solutions such as Iona, APS, and others, they are creating a lot of Gambians, hundreds of Gambians. So with digital finance, it will create opportunities for young Gambians to be employed. This time that we are talking about, the mother of that girl who was the girl who was murdered not long ago. The guy who murdered her, if he is fully employed, he might not do that. So with this digital finance, it will encourage, it will create employment. People will be employed, crime rate will go down. So when crime rate go down, we will not have such crimes committed in our country. Okay, it also promote innovation in payment methods. I heard that even GRA now, they are coming with digital system of how to make tax payment. So with digital finance, it will bring innovation on how people make payment or receive money. So I think I have answered your question.
Mr. Sini, you have done justice. You have done justice to your picture because I was like, oh, hope I will not cut him off. But it was interesting. It was interesting. And thank you so much for that. And we have learned that mobile money, digital wallet, and fintech solution can significantly expand financial inclusion, especially for women, youth, and informal workers. This tool is not just a tool, it's a tool that will reduce cost and time for us. As he mentioned about people roaming with cars, there is this one time I received money from Western Union, 50,000 plus for my tuition fee. And I was like, Tida, then I went with my school bag to receive this money. I went with my school bag to receive this money because in the Gambia, There is no digital system that will that allow the Western Union workers or that allow Western Union agents to send money directly to your bank account. But India have that system. So I went to the Western Union with my bag, with my big bag, and I was like, hope I will not get robbed on my way back to KL. Then this woman told me that we cannot give you cash. I was like, what? Then she told me that calm down, provide your account details, then I will send the money to you. And I was like, I'm number one fan of trust issue. I was like, when can I get my money? She told me that in 30 minutes time. I told her, okay, you can give me your dial, and I go with it. Here comes the trust issue. Then I was like, oh, this is how it works. In the Gambia, I would carry this bag with 50,000 going home with it. And Gambia, we are really lacking behind when it comes to digital finance. Each time I visit Western Union, I will not go home with cash. The woman will just send it to my account direct. No need to give the woman my details again. She already has my detail from the first transaction I made with her. My detail is with her. So Gambia, these systems will be there. Because during Tobaski, during the feast, let me say feast, let me not say just Tobaski, and Christmas too is part of it. During feast, people receive money from abroad through Western Union. And the thieves will be standing at the door waiting for individuals that are coming out with their money. And for some of them, they will follow you. They will follow you anywhere you go, they will follow you. Before you realize that someone is following you, your money has gone. So in the Gambia, we should make sure that Western unions have this system that individuals will not go home with that huge amount of money. Let them have a system that will transfer that money to you directly to your bank account. And you can have access to your money by using these wallet apps like Yona, APS. Now I've seen that Yona, you can buy fuel using your Yona app. I've seen it in, I guess, in Western Gambia. Yes, I was like, oh, this is great. There is no need for you to go to the petrol station and start counting money. Blah, 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 blah. You can just use your wallet, your wave wallet, and pay the petrol that you want. So let me not waste much of the time. Let me not waste time for going into these and these and these because we all know how it goes. Then I will give the baton to my co-host, Mr. Sliman. Barry, you can ask the next question.
Yo, thank you, Miss Sima. That was how to call it, Mr. JT. That was a remarkable speech. So now we move on to our second segment, still on the digital finance as a game changer. Our question goes to the central bank because we know that central bank plays an important role to the economy because it talks about finance in general. So we all know that finance it's the brain of every economy in this modern world. So Mr. Central Bank, my question is, what role does regulation play in ensuring digital finance is safe, affordable, and trusted?
Am I audible?
So you are audible.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. The regulatory bodies plays a crucial role. There's someone making noise in the background, please. Okay. As I was saying, the regulatory bodies plays a crucial role when it comes to regulations, especially these digital financing systems. The regulatory bodies make sure that finance is safe, affordable, and trusted for consumers, like by setting the rules, cybersecurity measures, and data protection, fraud prevention. They can also help service be affordable by promoting fair competition and preventing excess charges. Most importantly, when the finance providers like the lancing providers and supervised by the central bank, people gain trust in the system. They encourage more individuals and adopt to the digital payment system by supporting financial inclusion and economic growth. In this aspect, you see the regulatory bodies, they play a crucial role. For example, let's take wave for example. People knows that okay, this is a body which is given lancing by the central bank, and they have trust inside the uh, platform, and people are engaging with it. They can use it because they know that okay, this is a platform which is lancing by the central bank or a regulatory body that in case of any uh, mishaps in the future, we can report to the central bank, we can report to the regulatory bodies that can take actions against the platform where the thing is happening. So you see, that's when the regulatory bodies come because they play a crucial role, and every institutions needs governing measures or rules and regulations that are set by people so that in case of any mishaps that happen in the future, we can use those rules and regulations and take actions against them. So you see, these regulatory bodies, without them, the financial system would be very difficult to use digital financing in the Gambian context because for most of the people, let's say most of the population in the Gambia is they're not that educated to the extent of trusting these financial digital financing example, let's say, because people have the fear. Like most of the Gambians, whenever they hear about internet, they think of scamming, frauds, and whatsoever is happening. So it's easier that okay, when the financial regulatory bodies come in and set regulations, give lancing to the operating institutions, yeah, people will have trust in these financial institutions, and then it makes sure that people come into the platform and start using it. Then economic growth continue. Let's say, for example, Wave, they have contribute huge amount to the Gambian economy since it was introduced in the Gambia. Because, for example, now most of the people they are using Wave because they know that it is trusted and it is a lancing institute that we can use, and there is nothing like fraud will happen, and they have a security guarantee that okay, let's say example, you're giving a pin code that you cannot share with anybody. So you see, the central bank or the regulatory bodies have a role in these financial institutions. They should set rules and regulations whereby they will say that okay, the institutions, you need to protect their customers, people who are using this. These are the certain ways you need to protect their data, you need to protect their information in, because one of the most important things also is data protection. Most of these platforms, whenever you're using them, you have to, sometimes you use your ID card or whatsoever, voter score, whatsoever it is. So it's important that the regulatory bodies come in and give the financial institutions to like data protection rules so that you see the customers information are being protected, are not used against, because customers fear that okay, what if I use my ID card and it is being used, like the people can access the information. So you see, that's why the regulatory bodies and plays a crucial role. I guess I will stop here. I had the shortest question to answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. C. That was amazing. It was a remarkable speech given to you. So it's all about, in a summary, in a nutshell, it's all about trust and safety because it has to deal with finance. We all know that money. My money. I cannot give you my money if I don't trust you, man. So central bank also central bank in general, they are the banks of all banks. So all banks also rely on them. So therefore, they have to make sure that the people are away from fraud and also misuse of data and unfair practice also, so that there can be a fair competition in the market when it comes to digital finance. Okay, thank you. Now we move to the next question, which is the next segment, segment number 3. Now we'll talk about tax digitalization and revenue growth. So I will hand over the floor to my colleague, which is Sima.
Okay, thank you so much, Sleiman Barry. Okay, thank you so much, Sleiman Barry. And from central bank side, the contribution that he made is about innovation matched with regulation. Then back to the program itself, segment 3, we will understand that tax digitalization and revenue growth is part of from cash to code. Then my question will goes to GRE Seniboya. How does digital tax system improve revenue collection without overburdening citizens and small business? I repeat, how can digital tax systems improve revenue collection without overburdening citizens and small business? Mr. Seni, are you with us? Seni?
Sorry, can you please repeat the question? Sorry, Mr. Bojang, you are on mute.
Mr. Seni Boyan?
Sorry, Mr. Bojang is facing connection issue. So
Okay,
now
can
we can move
we?
to the next question because currently he is facing issue. So, Ms. Sima, can you please give the next question to the society representative
Okay,
before
now
Mr.
the
Bojan comes in?
okay, no problem. The next question to be asked will go to society representative, and that is Mr. Sambature. Are you with us? Mr. Sambature?
Yes, yes, I'm around.
Okay. Your question is, how can government address the concern and build public trust? I repeat, how can government address the concern and build public trust when it comes to digital finance?
All right. So you mean how can the government address concern and public trust when it comes to digitalization of tax and revenue, right? Not about the digitalization of finance. It's about
Yeah,
digitalization of tax.
yeah,
All right. Like
yeah.
the society representative, I believe it is the most important segment like of the government. Like when you talk about the society representative, it is the bridge between the government and then the public. Like the, it is the section of the government that hears the public concerns and then deliver it to the government for it to be solved. So now when we talk about digitalization of tax and revenue in the Gambia, we all know like how often like I can say more than 75% of like us, or I can say even 80% of us, we are so much used to this physical cars, all those stuff. That's what digitalization. Even most of us, I mean, especially me, the time I start using like this online payments, though I have bank account there, but the time I started, it was in India here. I came here, and then the first payment of this kind of online things I encountered was for Paytm. So the thing is, how do I hello, sorry. Sorry about that. It's the connection. My room here. The connection is not. Don't do this now, please. Like, okay. Well, let me fix this. Sorry. All right. So am I audible now? Am I audible? Okay, thank you. Like when you come to the digitalization of tax and revenue in the government, I believe the system of digitalization of the tax is for the what public. We are doing it for to make sure that tax payment is no more like in physical cash base. It is based on what through automated system. Like mean when you want to digitalize the tax from when you want to move the tax from the traditional, that's the cash-based system, to the digitalized system. It means you are moving from paper or manual way of paying tax to a what online or automated. When you talk about automating tax in accounting or anywhere, like when you automate this technology issue in any field or area, it means the work doesn't have to be done manually. It is an automated tax. Like so, when we talk about the digitalization of tax, first concern that the public has is what like data privacy, and then you have what you call transparency and accountability. Like how to call it? My dear Sima, she has been talking about trust issues. Trust issues. It's true. It's not only you. When it comes to money, we all have trust issues. So the most of the public concerns, like I mean, if you wanna make sure that people comply to that system that you wanna build, moving them from the traditional system to the digitalized system, first thing you need to take into consideration, like you need to make sure that there is transparency and accountability. When you talk about the transparency aspect, like it has to be when you build the system for the this thing for the digitalization of the tax, it doesn't have to you don't have to enforce it in the like in the people like completely. Like you have to move it gradually. Like it's just a hybrid system, hybrid tax system. When you talk about hybrid tax system, it means integrating the digitalized system with the what physical, that's the traditional. So in that case, you will see like this the public, some of them not all will adhere or comply to that digital system. But then as time goes on, like the transparency aspect, like when you put the digitalized system here, like let's say now me I'm to pay my tax and I have to do the filings, because when you are paying tax, they have to do like the representative of the government, let's say Jerry from anywhere, they have to go to the society, and then they'll be collecting tax physically. So in that case, when you digitalize that system, it means me as a taxpayer who have never used online payment or like anything, you just come and say, this is what you have to do. You just click on this. No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, how is it gonna prove that I've paid my tax? So you see, but once the transparency aspect is there, just like the Paytm, you have the history of all your transactions. Like you set up your account, everything, your details, everything is there. So meaning, in any case, no matter what happened, there's always like the transparency there, because you know that you have already make up this payment, and you have and then the accountability aspect also, you have to tell the public that the system that you build for the tax, like the digitalization of the tax, the accountability aspect, it has to do with like when people pay the tax, they have to see where that money is being spent, or how it is like the calculation of the tax system. Like in India here, I did taxation last semester, and I got to interact with these government officials, the Gujarat here, like they came to our college. So they gave us a brief history of like how they move from this. That's why the time I saw this, I couldn't thank this nine executive. I was like, wow, how comes these people came with this thing? Like, it's basically something that I just got to interact with officials in my this thing in my college at my college. So he said at the beginning it was not an easy joint. It was difficult. Most people, they were having the trust issues. Like, but later on they integrated the traditional system and the digitalized system, and now most of the all Indians, regardless of where the rural, this one payment of tax, it is what it is everywhere digitalized. How do they able to do that? They were able to earn the public trust. And how did that public trust come? Because there was transparency in every aspect and there was accountability. And when you move again, when you want to digitalize this tax, because one thing we need to also put in a consideration, when we say digitalization or even moving from cash to coding, we have to consider the public. Like, this will be the center. This will be the center of the system. I mean, we are digitalizing the tax, not for the government working there or what. It is for the citizens, those, or let's say the taxpayers. So it should be based, like it should be centered on, based on those people who are paying the tax. Just like in marketing, like the new marketing, like the marketing system now, that's the like defined by American Marketing Association. It means customers are at the center. I mean, like the aim of marketing is to improve sales, like to make more sales, but you have to make sure that you put the customers at the center of your marketing strategy. And by doing that, you are able to earn their what. That's why in marketing we have what we call loyal customers. Once they are loyal to you, they are loyal to the system, and it will be very easy for them to comply. The same thing also applies to this digital system. You have to earn the public trust, and like once you earn the public trust, you will see like everyone will adhere and comply to the what rules or any way you design the system. And the other thing is the data privacy aspect. We know once we talk about digitalization, it means everything has to be done online. So meaning, and when we are doing about tax payment, financial data, like that's something that is very private. So the first thing that will come to my mind, I'm sharing my financial or my private or my financial data online. How secure is this? And that's where they call the data privacy and this cybersecurity things comes in. So by doing that, me, I know when I pay my tax, my informations that they are secured. So in that case, you can earn the public trust. And then the other one, like, is the grievance. Like when you talk about the grievance, means the complaints that these taxpayers, because no matter how you build the system, trust me, no matter how you build the digital system, there will come a time other taxpayers will have problems there. And then in that case, that is their complaints. So now you should build the system in such a way that there is a fast and quick responding of the grievance. You hear the grievance of the taxpayers, and then you are able to respond to it swiftly. In that case, you earn those people their trust. They will be like, okay, this system is very good, it's well secured. Now those people you have earned their trust, they will be loyal to that system, and the compliance will be there. And then the other aspect is the visible what service improvement. When we talk about the visible service improvement here, we're talking about the benefits that this online tax payment will comes with, like the tangible. Let's say Gambia now we just let's say Sajo is the president of the Gambia now, and then you have others at the GRA, all those things. We decided to digitalize the tax system. Once we digitalize the tax systems, it means like after we digitalize it, now all of a sudden we had like the tax the revenue growth of the tax collection increases, and we are able to build roads, hospital, and now when people see when the citizens see that there's an improvement in this, and then it is indicated that it has a result of this digitalization of this tax. That's how revenue growth comes in, and then we were able to build schools and this. So now the citizens, they will be like, okay, this is a very good system. So as time goes on, they will forget about the traditional or the distance system. They will forget about the traditional or so they will forget about the traditional or the physical system. You cannot eradicate it instantly. It has to be gradually integrate. That's the hybrid system, and that's what that man told me. I'm like, okay, I thought that you guys just came and like bring this digitalized system. He said no, it has to be a hybrid system. It means integrating the digital like the digital, like the technology aspect, and then the physical. As time goes on, the citizens will adhere, will see the benefit of digitalization because it comes with automation of tax, meaning even like online filling of forms and then refunding, you don't have to do anything. There's a problem, sit in your home, you complain, the grievance is hard, and it is done. So now that's the thing here. When you talk about this digitalization of the tax system, it has to be the most important thing and the most important part that if we have to digitalize this tax system or for the development or the growth of government economy, we have to be centered on the what taxpayers, that's the citizens. That should be the main concern. It doesn't have to be with the those people, those who are collecting the tax or what. It has to be centered on the what those people paying the tax, and then that's it. So now to just brief what I've said, like when you talk about this digitalization of the tax, first you have to what transparency and accountability should be there, data privacy should be there, the grievance should be hard, and then the visibility of what services improvement. And I'm sure the Gambia we can achieve that, like and I believe we are moving, and that's why we should even try and integrate this digital system in our schools. Like I mean, it is high time. I know me have faced challenges, even in India here, I've faced challenges. But thank God, Alhamdulillah, that now, this is good. So that's it. If you want to earn the public trust, make sure that the system is built and it's centered on the what taxpayers. So thank you for now. I could have said more, but time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Samba Ture, for that wonderful insight. We all from the society representative, she raised a very important point, which is about public trust. Citizens are more willing to comply when the system is transparent, simple, and clearly linked to service delivery. So we don't have much time. Much time. I will just stop here and give the baton to my co-host, Sleiman Barry.
Yes, madam. Thank you for that. So we go back to Seni Bojang. His connection and everything is bad now. He's in attack. So Jare, Mr. Seni Bojang, my question to you is, how can digital tax system improve revenue collection without overburdening citizens and small businesses?
Thank you so much, Mr. Barry. It's indeed my village people that are after my laptop. I know that one from Gunjur. This one looking at me, Mr. Boya. Okay, going by the question, how can digital tax system improve revenue collection for citizens and individual? We all know when you talk about GRA, especially when you come to the Gambian context, we all talk about corruption, 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 corruption. So, but one of the main things that lead to all this corruption is, I think, is the physical pain of cash. I have a small insight about how mostly small business enterprise, corporate business enterprise pay their taxes in the Gambia, and the procedures that they take at the end of the year, you have to file your returns. After filing your returns, you need to submit your audit report, and they need to be an assessment. Then they prepare your receipt for you. You make payments. From payments, you have to go back again. Then you take your clearance. So these procedures at times is tedious, and it can take businesses a week, or at times 2 3 days 4 days if you have somebody who is very fast in helping you. So most of these things discourage people, to physically go to GRA to pay for these things, and that is why if one go to GRA around the main gate of any GRA branches, either Kanifim Bursubi or Banjul main office, you normally find agents there, and those agents also try to be a third party between taxpayers and the main GRA. Even though what they are doing is against the law, is illegal, but they are there as a third party. At times they just kick them out, but Gambia, we just organize. As far as you are not affected, you are not saying anything. So in fact people will be charging more extra charges on people. I can help you get your tax return everything today, but you have to give me this. And if you go to GRA staffs as well, in taxation, there is what we call tax avoidance and tax evasion. Tax evasion is illegal, is prohibited, and it is it is offensible by law. You can be jailed for it. But tax avoidance is allowed. Let's say you have to pay a tax of $500,000. You go to a GRA staff, you sit with him, you go through your returns, and you can see maybe if I put one or two expenditure down, your tax can be down by this percentage, and you give him a feedback. So this feedback thing is the main issue. That is why GRA, they are trying to integrate their system to online. They have been doing that. I think they already started it with the ports, that is the custom, where people are bringing in containers. But for the corporate business, they are still trying harder. One of the factors is their staff themselves, because it's going to be a big blow for most of them. Salaries, their feedbacks work well for GRA staffs, and most of the business too, they don't feel like going directly to GRA to pay this them, so they always have agent. So all these things, are things that are making it harder for us to go into the digital system. But once we do that, it's going to fasten our tax collection process. There will be lack of cash leakage, because there are a lot of cash leakages anywhere in in that sector. There are cash leakages, staffs themselves, agent, and in fact the taxpayers. So me, I think one of the things, it has to be our individual attitude. For there to be a better change, we have to change ourselves. Being the staff of the GRA, you the taxpayers, you have to pay this right amount of tax. Just because a GRA staff is giving you a smaller feedback, or you give him a smaller feedback and he give you a lesser tax that you are going to pay, you agree. So in that case, we are both corrupt. So, but when it is done online, like the system that is happening with our passport now, there is no more corruption. You go to bank, they tell you are going to pay 5,000 or 6,000. You paid at the bank. You only go with your receipt. So GRA, that's what this will do as well. If they do that, it's going to fasten the process of people. And as well, in fact, to pay the tax, to pay the amount at GRA is a problem. You go to GRA, you find a long queue. Unless you know somebody who knows somebody to fast track you. You can go to GRA by 7 before you pay your tax. You'll be there till 8 or 9 or 9:30. So all those things are things, when we put our system into digital, we're not gonna have much problem with regards to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Bujan. That was amazing. That was amazing, man. So I will just summarize what he just said. It's all about corruption. But with the avoidance of this corruption, digital system can make an immense job here, because it will improve revenue collection to the GRA, and also reduce the burden that citizens are facing. So, and also improve small businesses also to thrive. Yeah, and also make our government, how to call it, our GDP to rise, because tax and government expenditure are, at least we can say, they are correlated, because without tax, government also cannot make expenditures or make budget to the next year. So with this digital tax system can improve immensely, can also make GRA and a lot of revenue to the country, and also make us makes the how to call it, payment easier. Yeah, make payment easier for the citizens, and also without any difficulties. So thank you. We can move now to the next segment, which is the final segment. So I will hand over to my colleague, which is Sima.
Okay, thank you so much, Sleiman Barry. And the next segment is inclusion, literacy, and risk. The first question will go to society representative, that is Sambature. Sambature, your question is, what happens to rural communities, the elders, or those with low digital literacy, and how do we know? And how do we ensure no one is left behind? I repeat, what happens to rural communities, the elders, and those with low digital literacy? How do we ensure no one is left behind?
All right. Thank you once again. This is your society representative, Sambature. Yeah, has the question goes, you said how this it's about inclusion. That's how this elderly, the rural, and then the uh, informal sectors, we make sure that they are not left behind in this digitalization of the tax system. Okay, so like as I said earlier, since you are trying to digitalize the tax system from the cash based to the this thing to the digital system, you have to make sure that everyone is included. When you talk about inclusiveness, mean all taxpayers they are what included in the what system, be it like the formal sector, the informal sectors. As you know, in the Gambia, it is mostly dominated by the informal sectors. So, and then we also have those at the rural areas, like those, and they also pay tax. Though they are the rural areas, they also pay tax. So, mean if you have to digitalize the system, we should make sure that those elderly people there, and then the informal sectors and the rural community, we do not have that accessibility or like easy access to this digital world or the system. We have to make sure that they are included in the what in the system, in the this digitalized system. So how to make sure that they are not ignored, like let me put it in that way, how to make sure that they are not left behind when we are digitalizing the system. We have like that's what we have to make sure that there's this community what training. That's why I earlier also I talk about what gradual what process, like mean you integrate the digital with the what with the physical system. That's the traditional system, because those are the villages also at the rural areas, they are adamant, like they are not easily adaptable to what to changes, like especially this digital world. They don't have much knowledge about what this digital system. So first of all, what you need to do to make sure that they are not excluded in this digital system, set up a community, like in the community, set up a center or a services whereby there will be some tax officials who will go there and train them. Like I mean, they're not gonna accept it immediately, but you train them, educate them, give them awareness about the benefits, and then time saving that comes with this digitalized system of the what tax system. So in that case, you will see that yes, those people now they will feel what included in the what in the system. And then the other thing is you have to make sure that the system, like this, there are these people that we call, what's the word again? Chaos. Like okay, they are the chaos, but like those people who have these small stores in this in I don't even know how they call it in the Gambia here, but it's in India here. Like those people who used to abuse. Let me not take it abuse. They are like a middleman. Like they are middlemen. Like those people who are between the taxpayers and then the government. We have the government officials though, but there are these people that we call QS. So those people also, you need to make sure that you protect those taxpayers, that local taxpayers, that's the elderly people and those who didn't have much knowledge about the digital system. You protect them from what abuse, and then all you need to do is like make sure that the system, the elderly people, and then those at the local area, they feel inclusive in the system. So in that case, the entire, like I mean the entire taxpayers of that country will be included in the what system, because we have the formal sectors there, we have the informal sectors, and for us Gambia, most of our like we don't specifically adopt a progressive or regressive tax system, but it's more of regressive at times sometimes, like so. But in that case, when you digitalize the system, you need to make sure that like the digital, like the language, especially okay, let's say the language that we are using in the system there, you should consider those people at the rural areas use simple languages in the tax filing forms, or like the reform forms, all those kind of things. Language, if possible, even if you can use local language that they can understand. So in that, it will be easy for them to adopt to the system and feel inclusive in the system. So all in one about this inclusiveness, to make sure that this elderly locals, rural people, they are not left behind in the tax system. It's like it's a gradual process. You don't have to force it on them. Just make sure that you integrate the system with the physical system, set up community services where tax officials will come and train them, and then also you make sure that you protect them from abuse and enlighten them about the benefit that comes with this digitalization of the system. And in that case, and what I wanted to say also, the topic we are discussing about inclusiveness and this one. So Once they feel inclusive, they'll be loyal to the system and they'll be what? They'll be compliant, meaning they will adhere to the rules and system rules of the what of the system. So in that case, I would like to rest my case here. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Samba Ture. Okay, this reminds us that digital transformation must go hand in hand with education, awareness, and support system. I have seen some people here hungry. Maybe you have not taken your dinner. Then I will give the floor to the audience. If you want to add any maginocals, you can go ahead. You can raise your hand, but I will give you only 1 minute to speak. Okay, Bakari, you can come in.
Assalamu alaikum to you all. I believe I'm audible. All right. I think this is one of the most important panel discussion we have as Gam-Ind for this year. I want to thank the 9 executive and the finance committee for organizing this important discussion. Yeah. So, and the panelists and the moderators, you're doing good. You're doing justice to the topic. So we are very grateful. Yeah. This from code to cast to code, very important topic. We are lucky that we are here in India, or some people are other part of the world. So we are learning and we see how digitalization is going in India here or any other part of the world against the Gambia. So this is a very important topic. So it's mainly the topic is discussing about maybe tax. So GRA. This year we saw a great improvement in GRA revenue because of the digitalization they are in now. Yeah, when they brought this digitalization, the revenue increased rapidly this year. Quarterly, their revenue increased almost 70 to 75% compared to previously when they were using this manual. So digitalization is the solution and is the way forward that we should advocate for. Yeah. So and the council also, the area council dealing with the market also should improve on this digitalization. So, but the problem they face is if you want to digitalize for the council, you need the market to be level. You have all the market stores numbered. So that will help you. At the end of the year, you will know which market store is paying or not. But without that, it will be very difficult for market and council to be digitalized and receiving revenue as expected. So that's it. Yeah, and the market also. Yeah, you have these old women, old guys in the market. So as I think Samba said, we need to sensitize them seriously. So you will need a serious sensitization to include them in the because they are the one in the market to pay tax monthly or even daily tax. Uh, Daily tax, yeah, they receive from it, they charge from area council. So, in short, I know there's not much time, but in short, Gambia should try and go from this cash to digitalization. That's good, which will increase revenue generation, reduce corruption, and even uh, tracking records. It will help. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Sini, for that wonderful contribution. If anyone wants to add something on this, you can raise your hand. Okay, Sirif Ba, you can come in.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Am I audible?
Walaikum assalam. You are audible, mentor.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Sambature.
My mentor. Thank you for having me, young man. We really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I think I will first, this is commendable. Actually, I think the Gam-In executives are really doing well. Anyway, I think you should keep up the momentum. This is a very good initiative. And people like us today, we learn a lot. Saini, you did very well. I know most of my students are here anyway, but it's a pleasure being part of this event because I have learned a lot. Because you're talking about digitalization system, I think Gambia we should move on from the traditional system and move on to the digital system because that is what the West is using, and that is why corruption is reduced. And today, a lot of us are shouting corruption, corruption, but we don't understand the system. So they said you can never understand the system until you are in the system. So, it's good that you people are learning this, and it's good that you are sharing your thoughts. And then, I will just keep on, praying to make sure and pray to God that to continue helping you in your pursuance and also in your endeavor because this is very, very, very good. And students should, not only India, but I think this is going to serve as a source of motivation to others. Don't only initiate it within yourself, but you have other partners associations. You can also have what we call interrelationship with other associations, and you discuss. Maybe they will also have, like those in China, they also have associations wherein you will share your thoughts and ideas because the system of educations are not the same, so that they can also share their thoughts and then not only on tax system, but other topics that that these are two different countries with different educational system, although they are all Asian country, but their educational system are not the same. So if you share platforms like this, I think it will, encourage more and, it will be more insightful and it will be more educative. So thank you so much. Samba, Saini, whatever you said, everything was perfect. I think I don't have much to comment on that because we don't have time. I just want to encourage you to keep up the good work. And I pray that Allah continue to preserve your knowledge and increase you people in wisdom. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Okay, thank you so much, Sirif Ba, for that encouragement. We then move to Yaya. Yaya, you have 2 minutes. I'll give you only 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. I just have a contribution to make. I think it was a very important and interactive session, but many Gambians will say Gambians are not ready to adopt digital payment and that of digital tax system. But be reminded that market traders in the Gambia are not resistant to technology. And a sample of that is the existing mobile usage. We have seen Q Money, Wave, and Afri Money are already used by traders. And this proof readiness for digital finance. So therefore, if people sit there and say Gambia are not ready for digital, I think that's just a here or here see. But be reminded that the Gambian people are ready to venture into digital. But how are they going to venture into digital? It's through education and sensitization. When they are educated on how to use this platform, it become easy for them. And for that, since I'm giving 2 minutes, let me just stop here. Thank you. Allah Barakah.
I know you have a lot to say. Okay, Finance Minister.
Yes, Tida. Tida, thank you. For me, I think I don't have like much to say. I just want to, thank my boss. That is Mr. Sirif. We call him SP009. Those of us, who graduated from Nusra Senior Secondary School, we know SP. So he taught me, and then not only me, I believe Sambot Ture Basene, most of the students that are here in India. So I'm very, 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 very much delighted that, he had to leave all his busy schedules and everything to join us here to come and listen to his students. So SP, we are saying thank you. We are very, 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 very much grateful. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, then we move to Gambian students in India.
Yeah. Greetings. May I confirm the ability?
You are audible, but Sajo, you are given only 2 minutes. I know you.
Okay. So thank you very much, to the moderators. Suleiman, who is my son, and of course, Section 45 of the Violence Act. So, looking at the issue on the discourse, that is the Gambia as a nation moving from, the cash form of, giving our money to digitalization, I believe it's very, very timely, and I am quite elated by what a majority of the speakers here had made mention of, especially the fact that the former auditor, his executive council's auditor, Mr. Samature, saying that to some extent, I think some days or weeks back, he had some lectures that had to do with digitalization. And that really grabbed my attention because as a council, I think these are one of the things that we look into as far as our sessions are concerned, our webinars when it comes to the aspects of, inclusivity and whatsoever. Even though I'm not from a commercial background, but I believe this thing is very, very important because in one way or the other, we all manage our money to some extent. So I believe having this aspect of finance, especially digitalization, is very, very timely. Just to sum it up, when it comes to this, when the moment he made mention of the hybrid part, saying that rather than going away with a particular thing, what is more imperative is integrating them per se, having them together in a form of an amalgamation. So I think that is very key because some time back, I think a month or less than that, as an executive, we had some arguments with regards to this word that had to do with hybrid because we received a particular message. And to some of us, we thought when we said hybrid, it just has to do with one aspect. But however, for me, that is coming from, an aeronautical background, we had a course this semester that had to do with rocket and missile technology. And in this rocket and missile technology, you had like what the propellant would use. So to some extent, we had this aspect of the hybrid. So when we talk of the hybrid, it would have to do with you having the solid and of course the liquid being together as part of it. So essentially, when we make mention of the hybrid here, so I'm talking of digitalization and of course the conventional side. It's more or less like amalgamating them. So I just wanted to say that not much as far as is concerned. We look forward to a successful Finance Week. And that being said, thank you very much, and back to you, the moderator. Yeah, and sorry, to SP, thank you so very much for joining us. We're all, most of us are Nigerians, batchmates with the YS and the others, the Finance Minister of Gam-Ind. So we're really grateful that you will join us in this crusade. It will really add value or values to this session that we have or we're having. And we thank you so very much for joining us. We're truly elated by your presence and grateful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sajo, for that wonderful contribution. Mr. Sirifba, did you have any contribution to make? Mr. Sirifba, your hand is still up. Okay, then back to the president of 9 Executive, Sajo. You can come and give your closing remark.
Where I am, it's a bit dark, but I hope what's more important is my voice. May I confirm again my no, Father. I anticipated this. Yeah, so all right. My phone just went off, but fortunately, as Gam-Ind members, wheresoever we are always together. I have been rescued by my big bro here, Kiba El Dabo. So, thank you very much to the moderators and to the speakers that we have here. From Aibo Auditor, Mr. Seni Bojang, to Mr. Samba Mr. Samba Ture, Mr. Seni Jete, and of course Mr. Yaya Jallo, who serves as the Deputy Social and Welfare Minister of Gam-Ind, the current in the ninth Executive Council. So as we come to the end of tonight's session, that is the commencement or the opening floor of the Finance Week 1.0 of Gam-Ind, all I would like to say is to encourage each and every one of us to join the subsequent events we will be having as far as the Finance Week is concerned. That is on the 26th, where we'll be having business plan presentation, and the 28th, where we will be having a lecture, I guess lecture note by Dr. Gajigo. And I believe all of us are set for those days, bringing in our ideas, I mean our pens, and having our books set to note down everything that we ought to have as far as that is concerned. So essentially, tonight's session from India was actually a very successful one, from the side of the moderators, giving tone to the entire session, that is Mr. Suleiman Bari and Ms. Tida Sima or Ms. Tida Kamara. I believe you guys had guided this house, as debaters will put it, to in some direction. And to some extent, we're able to understand that when it comes to finance, it's not just limited to commerce students. It have to do with all of us that are in the sciences, those that are in the arts, and whatsoever. From the explanations that we had, it really speaks virtues of it all. So I'd also send kudos to the ninth Executive Council through the Finance Ministry for coming up with this initiative, and we pray that it's going to be a continuation. This is truly the value of like when we say we're walking the talk, this is what we mean, and I believe it has been manifested when it comes to innovation, when it comes to bringing in new initiatives. The ninth Executive Council is never left out. So kudos to the executives for bringing forth this initiative, and thank you to my able VP for stepping in at the right time, giving the opening remarks, setting the tone for the Finance Week, the commencement of the Finance Week. So that being said, I, Sajo Ikejaju, President of the ninth Executive Council of the Association of Gambian Students in India, hereby declare today's session closed, and looking forward to seeing you all on Friday, the 26th of December 2025. Thank you very much, and back to the moderators.
Thank you, Mr. President, for that wonderful closing remarks. So, ladies and gentlemen, we conclude today's discussion. One message stands clearly: the journey from cars to code is not just about technology, it's about people, trust, and opportunity. I thank you all for joining today's discussion, and here comes the end of the session. See you
Thank
all.
you. See you all the next sessions, man. Appreciate for today's meeting, man.